Hi everyone, I'm Priscilla Vargas. I'm a makeup artist and hairstylist based in New York City. And today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to do a no makeup look. So first things first, you want to take care of your skin. Skincare and prep is super important with a no makeup look. I like to use Embryolisse. I'm going to start off with about a dime-sized amount of cream for my face, and I like to work it into my hands and then really work it into my skin. It also helps to massage it in because it increases the blood flow to your face. So next I'm gonna go in with a lip scrub. This one is by Fresh. It's a sugar lip polish. I take some off with my nail just a little bit, and you just rub it in. It also gets the blood flowing to the lips too. Makes them look a little fuller and pinker. Then you just wipe it off. Once it's all off, you can go ahead and go in with whatever kind of salve or lip therapy you want to use. I'm using a rosebud salve. And I like to just work it onto the lips before I start my whole makeup routine. That way it has some time to get in there and really moisturize. The next thing I'm gonna do is start off with my base. I'm using Chanel Vitalumiere Aqua, and I'm using it in 30 and 40 beige. I'm gonna be mixing the two. And I'm just doing it on my hand, the back of my hand here. Take a little bit of that. And I think that the key to no makeup is not to cover your entire skin, which is why I'm using the foundation that I chose, because it's really light and it just serves to even everything out and make you have a nice, even, clean complexion. If you need a little bit more coverage, you can go ahead in with whatever foundation you choose. And I like to do it with my hands. And go under the eyes as well. This way, you don't have to use as much concealer afterwards. And concealer is really the heavier coverage product, and it makes the skin not look like skin anymore, which you want to avoid. And then I'm gonna go in with, I have a palette of concealers, but you can use whatever concealer you like. And I like to use a little bit lighter of a tone than my own skin. Not 2 shades lighter or anything like that for our purposes. I like to use one that is just like a shade or half a shade lighter than my skin. And you're just going in with your finger. So now you can see my under eye circles are lightened. They're not completely gone, but you don't want to cover completely when you're doing no makeup. Next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use my concealer to cover any parts that the foundation didn't cover. So any blemishes around the nose, or any just imperfections that you wanna cover up. And you wanna do that, you can use your finger if you like, or you can use a very small detail brush like this one. This one's by Kelly Kwan. It's a vegan line of brushes, love them. And you go in with the same shade as your skin. And I have some redness around my nose, so I'm gonna do that. See that I broke out a little bit in my forehead here. And then you can also blend with your finger. I'm a big fan of using my hands. So next I'm gonna give myself a light contour. This product is by Surratt. It's a blush, but the color is really cool. It doesn't have any warm undertones, so it's not gonna give you that like orangey look for a contour when you really want it to look like a shadow. This one is called Grisaille. This is a Real Techniques brush. It's called the Expert Face Brush. And I like it because it's kind of like, if you look at the shape, it's kind of angular, but it's not gonna give you a really harsh line. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of that onto the brush, dab it onto my hand and make sure that it's the color, the right opacity that I want. And I'm gonna go in and just create a little bit of contour. Very slight. I think that looks good. You can do it to your discretion, whatever you feel comfortable with. I'm gonna go in with a little bit of bronzer, just on my forehead. Towards the hairline. So I'm gonna go in and do my eyebrows. Now I have MAC spiked pencil. It's a really thin pencil, it twists up, and it's really nice because you don't have to sharpen it or worry about too sharp of a line or too dull of a point. So I like to start with my left side because I'm right-handed, and my right eyebrow always comes out on fleek, and my left is just not cute at all. And I end up with like totally mismatched brows. I know they're supposed to be sisters and not twins, but I recommend that you start with whatever side you're least comfortable with, because that way you can match it with the side that you are comfortable with. I like to start drawing right where my brow starts getting thicker. If you notice, natural brows always have lighter in the middle and towards the center of the face. There's less hair, and then there's gradually more hair as you extend outward. So I like to start my line following the same hair pattern. I like to start about here, and it's better to have a mirror further away than really close up because you get too lost in the details when you're doing your brows super close, and then when you take the mirror away, it looks really crazy from far away. So start from far away and just do light strokes and fill in where you see it needs to be filled in. Follow the grain of the hair. And notice that the farther you hold away the pencil, the less pressure you're going to get on your line. If you hold it really close, you're gonna have a super dark line, and we don't want that. We wanna have natural, filled in brows. And then for the hairs that are closer to the center of the face, you wanna go extra light and just do upward strokes because that's typically the pattern that the hair grows in that area. And to finish it off, I like to give them a few brushes with just a spoolie, just to blend it. Maybe I made any harsh lines. And then I'm gonna go ahead and do the other brow. And you can always make it a little bit darker when you get to about this point, the arches, and backwards. Next, I'm going to do some eyes. So I'm using a cream shadow. It's called a Color Base. It's by MAC. It's in Improper Copper, and I like it because it's a little bit warm. So I'm just gonna use my hands and just put it right onto the eyelid. And you can blend it upwards a little into the crease, like so. Next, I'm gonna put a highlight onto my skin. And I'm using Calvin Klein. It's a liquid highlight, and I like it a lot because it's really blendable. I like to use my two fingers, my middle finger and my ring finger, and just kind of measure it out by using 3 fingers and going right here onto the cheekbone. That's gonna be where you wanna put your highlight. And you just blend it out. Just tap it. You can even go up into the brow bone a little bit. The next thing I really love to use is a cream blush. This one is by CK1, and it's in Happiness. The color's called Happiness. It's a peach color. Half of it is cream and half of it is powder, in case you need more intensity. I'm gonna do it with somewhat of a stippling brush, like this, how it's flat and fluffy. And I'm gonna start off with the cream blush. You can also do this with your fingers if you needed to. I'm gonna use a brush, and I'm just gonna push it into the apples of the cheeks. And I don't like to do it directly in front because it looks really artificial. So I like to follow the pattern of where I naturally get flushed. So kind of go a little bit off to the side of the apples of the cheeks, not directly in front. It's also gonna amplify the contours of your face. And cream blush is really blendable, and it's really nice for giving the skin a really dewy, hydrated, fresh look. So next I'm going to line my eyes just to make the lash line look a little bit fuller with a brown eyeliner, and I'm gonna smudge it out afterwards. So you just create a really super tight line on the eyelash root. Doesn't have to be perfect because you're going to smudge it out in a minute. So then you just you can just blend it out with your finger a little bit and do the same thing on the other eye. Next, we're gonna do the lashes. And go right back in with some mascara. Now for the lips, I like to do a light stain. You can either use a lipstick or I have a CoverGirl lip stain here. Today I'm going to be using a color that's kind of similar to my own lip color, but a little bit browner. And if I wanted to amp up my lips just a little bit, I can use a liner that is somewhat the same color as my own lips, just a little bit darker, to create a shadow around the lip line. This one is by MAC, it's called Oak. And I'm just gonna take it really close to the lip line here and lightly draw outside the lip line. Very lightly. And finish off with some more lip conditioner. Put powder wherever you feel you need to. If you know you get really shiny in your T-zone, then you can go ahead and set now with powder. I like to do it at the end because I like my skin to retain its kind of like moisture and dewiness and let the makeup settle with the oils in my skin. And that's it. Thank you guys for watching. If you like my work and want to check out more, go to www.priscillavargas.co, comment below, and join the riot now at www.runwayriot.com.